Welcome to our podcast session. Today we're diving into the world of Lido, a liquid staking solution that's shaking up the proof of stake game. It's really changing the way users approach staking.
Yep, exactly. Absolutely. It's fascinating to see how Lido addresses the liquidity issues of traditional staking. So, what exactly is Lido?
Well, Lido is essentially a platform that offers liquid staking. Instead of locking up your assets completely, like in traditional staking, you deposit your crypto and you get a tokenized version of that asset. For example, if you stake ETH, you receive STETH in a 1.1 ratio.
Got it. So, this tokenization, does it mean you can still use your staked assets in other DeFi protocols?
Exactly, that's one of the most interesting parts. Liquidity is enhanced because users can use these asset tokens as collateral for loans or yield farming, all while still earning staking rewards.
Right. Kind of like having your cake and eating it too, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's like you're not completely sacrificing access to your funds. Traditional POS staking locks you out for a period, often with high barriers to entry, such as needing at least 32 ETH for Ethereum staking.
Very true. And that 32 ETH requirement can be pretty steep for most users, right?
Absolutely, and that's where Lido really shines. It pools funds from multiple users so that you don't need a huge sum to participate. Instead of being a solo validator, your ETH is collectively staked by the network.
That makes sense. So, what happens with the pooled funds? How are they managed?
When you deposit your tokens in Lido, your funds are staked through a smart contract, which then delegates those funds across a set of node operators that are picked based on proven performance.
Yes, I see. That means the risks are spread out, right? Like it avoids a single point of failure?
Exactly, that's part of Lido's key architecture. By distributing staked assets among multiple validators, it minimizes risk. Of course, there are technical and smart contract risks to consider, but overall, it's a clever approach.
Clever indeed. Speaking of risks, I've heard some criticisms about smart contract vulnerabilities inherent in platforms like Lido. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a valid point. While Lido is open sourced and undergoes regular audits with bounty programs to minimize bugs, no system is completely immune. Technical hiccups on the beacon chain or issues with multi-signature wallets still
Right, I can
pose
see that.
potential hazards.
And then there's the aspect of DAO risks. Managing collective assets like 600,000 ETH sounds like quite a responsibility. And if signatories lose keys, it could be catastrophic.
Exactly, managing that sort of capital is a challenge. Lido mitigates that risk by using multi-signature and decentralized governance through its DAO. But there's always that residual risk, even with such measures.
Understandable. So, who exactly runs Lido? What's behind its governance structure?
Lido operates through a decentralized autonomous organization, or DAO, where LDO tokens play a critical role. Each LDO token gives a holder voting power proportional to their stake, which means governance and decision-making are handled in a democratic, transparent manner.
Yeah, that's neat. Interesting that the voting mechanism itself is upgradable and adjustable while still being independent of other protocols. That sounds fairly progressive.
It is indeed progressive. It allows the community to fine-tune the governance without disturbing the core functions of the protocol. This adaptability is crucial, especially in rapidly evolving crypto ecosystems.
Exactly. Now, how does one get involved with Lido? I mean, aside from staking ETH, there's also the possibility to buy LDO tokens, right?
Yes, and it's pretty straightforward. You can purchase LDO tokens on major exchanges like Binance, Kraken, Coinbase, and others. You typically search for LDO, look at the available trading pairs like LDO BUSD, LDO USDT, or LDO BTC,
Right,
and then
sounds
execute a
user-friendly.
trade.
However, I do want to mention some critics might argue that centralizing too many governance functions in LDO token holders could lead to power centralization over time. What's your take on that?
That's a fair challenge. While the DAO strives for decentralization, the fact remains that larger token holders could, theoretically, tilt decisions. It's a delicate balance, and it's something the Lido team is continually working on to ensure fairness and wide participation.
That makes sense. I appreciate that nuance. Transparency in handling large stake influences is vital in such ecosystems.
Absolutely. And another interesting facet is how Lido works across various blockchains. It's not just limited to Ethereum, there's support for networks like Polygon, Solana, Polkadot, and even Kusama.
Yep, that broad support is impressive. That means users can enjoy the benefits of liquid staking on multiple blockchains, which really broadens the appeal.
Exactly. Think of it like a decentralized buffet where you're not locked into one flavor. Whether it's Steth, Stematic, Satsol, Sedot, or STKSM, the idea is to offer liquidity and flexibility.
Absolutely. So, in essence, Lido is solving the problem of illiquidity in staking, which has always been a major hurdle in proof-of-stake networks.
Right, that's the key. Traditional staking requires you to lock assets without any access. But with Lido, your tokenized assets can continue to work for you on DeFi platforms, all while still earning staking rewards.
Yep, exactly. And what about the fees? How does Lido maintain capital efficiency while still rewarding node operators?
Good question. Lido's system includes mechanisms where staking rewards are distributed among node operators and users, with fees built into the system. This means that while there's a fee for the service, it's generally competitive considering the additional liquidity and reduced barriers.
I see. So would you say that Lido, by offering lower entry costs and liquidity, is making staking accessible to a much wider audience?
Definitely. It democratizes staking. Instead of needing a large minimum amount like 32 ETH, users can stake fractional amounts to participate in the consensus mechanism. It's essentially cutting down on the technical and financial hurdles significantly.
Right, I love that idea. But here's something to chew on. Advanced crypto users might argue that by pooling funds, there's a sort of loss of control, or that you're entrusting your assets to a centralized contract. Isn't that a bit risky?
That's a decent critique. There is an element of trust involved. You're essentially relying on the smart contract and the rigorous audits behind it. While no system is without risk, Lido's use of decentralized governance, diversified validator selection, and public audit records help mitigate
balance
these
is key.
concerns.
And then, there's always the potential for technical risks on the beacon chain itself, since Ethereum's POS is still relatively new.
True, technical risks are inherent in new technological paradigms. While Lido is robust, the entire ecosystem is expanding, which means ongoing vigilance is required. It's like riding a roller coaster. You enjoy the ride, but always know there's some risk involved.
Absolutely, exactly. All in all, Lido seems to be a groundbreaking solution, enhancing accessibility and liquidity in staking while opening doors for participation across multiple blockchains.
That's perfectly it. It's an innovative way to bridge the gap between the traditional inflexibility of staking and the dynamic world of DeFi. For anyone looking to maximize their crypto assets' potential without getting locked away, Lido introduces a promising pathway.
Indeed. It's been a truly enlightening discussion. Understanding Lido gives us a window into both the challenges and evolved solutions in the crypto space. Thanks for breaking it down in such detail.
My pleasure. It's really fascinating to see where the industry is headed with innovations like Lido, and I'm excited to watch how this space continues to evolve.
Yep, absolutely. And for our listeners, if you're considering staking or diving into DeFi, remember, do your research, stay cautious, and embrace these innovative approaches.
Definitely. Thanks for joining this in-depth exploration of Lido. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and happy
Sounds
staking.
great. Take care.